Hello, this is Chad from School of the American Rifle. Today I'm producing a video in conjunction with AR Build Junkie about trigger guard roll pins, installation and removal. So I'd like to show you a couple jigs that are popular on the market. We have a Wheeler Delta Series bench block. We have a Real Avid Master bench block. And we have a Little Crow Gunworks pusher tool. Now, there's also a copy of this tool that is made by Wheeler as well that works very similar to this. Depending on your setup, this may be too cost prohibitive because it only does one thing. This works only to push in or remove that roll pin, and these are about $40, but they're probably the best tool to use. Next up would probably be the Wheeler. As far as versatility goes, this allows you to not only install the roll pin, but you can also put the front ears in here to install the bolt catch. You can flip it over, use it to remove your taper pins for your front sight base. Your charging handle lays there. You can also put your upper receiver in here to install your forward assist device. So not bad. Usually these run about $30. The Real Avid one has rubberized coating on it so it doesn't slip around your bench as much compared to, let's say, this. But it's not as durable as this one, in my opinion. And also, when you're using this to install the bolt catch, it doesn't make much contact with the lower receiver ear right there, so it concerns me. So we only have a little bit of contact right there, so it's possible that something can still break off, but overall not a bad tool either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this using the Wheeler, and these other things work very similarly, but show you how you need to make sure you support the work so you don't damage anything. I'll lay this down here and you can see right there we're making contact. The reason we want to make sure things are making contact, if you don't support things properly, this is a destroyed lower, but the ear's broken off. So if you don't install this just right, you can break the ear off and trash your lower receiver. Normally, to take one of these out, you have to use a pusher or some type of block. You can grab this in a vise and try to knock it out, but like I said, you're risking a lot if you're not supporting one of these sides when you're bashing on that pin. So I'm going to line this up. I'm going to grab the appropriate punch that I have, which is this one, and a hammer. If you ever get where you get resistance, put some penetrating oil on that pin. I knock that pin out. Alright, let me grab the starter and the finisher. Then I'm going to show you a tip. So now that we had that removed, and I'm throwing punches everywhere, I apologize. That's loose. And let's say you were going to replace this, you would normally loosen that set screw, pull it out. Let's say you had to remove the trigger guard though. So what you can do is, if you have, let's say, a virgin build, you didn't have something to pull out, you don't have to get any of these jigs at all. What you can do is just find a deck of playing cards. Usually pick these up for about $1. And what you're going to do is lay this under the ear, like so, and look, you have perfect support to drive in your replacement roll pin. And you can change the height by adding more cards, but it gives you basically a makeshift jig to install your trigger guard. So, wanted to give you that little alternative. But that being said, let's go ahead and use what we had there. And I'll show you how I install the roll pin. So I'll put a little bit of grease. This is a spiral pin, so these are a little easier to install. We have a starter punch. These work as a gauge as well if you have the right size. See, it holds it in place. We'll put a little bit more grease on the other end to help it find its way in. Make sure everything's lined up. Instead of transferring to a roll pin punch, we don't want to do this here. The roll pin punch has that little nipple there. If you get resistance when you're trying to drive this in, you can cause this pin to mushroom out. So I'm going to use a nice fat-faced punch to hit this. Drive it flush. Now you can use the roll pin punch to knock it right below the surface. You can see we're not quite even. We went a little bit too far here, so I'm going to flip it over. A little bit below the surface, a little bit below the surface, and we're golden. And if you watched the previous video that we produced with AR Build Junkie, you could see how you could touch up some aluminum there, remove some material right on the edge of that hole. With some Birchwood KC aluminum black, and you'll look like a factory job. So that is a trigger guard swap or installation. I hope you found this video educational. Thanks for watching School of the American Rifle. Look for more videos like this on ARBuildJunkie.com.